SJWs are the new association for Harvard president.
So in this commentary video, I'm going to defend Charles Murray, who was brutalized at his last talk, which was just yesterday on Thursday at Middlebury College. And just from showing this first initial clip, and I'll show more clips as I talk about the event, I think we see a pattern with Milo and Shapiro, Ben Shapiro, these protests that are occurring at discussions and lectures that are brought from outside the universities in to discuss ideas that I guess are so foreign and alien to these students that they act as they've been educated, and that is not educated, miseducated. So here are some of the bare facts. So Murray was supposed to speak at Middlebury College yesterday, and he was invited by the American Enterprise Institute Club at this college. The American Enterprise Institute is a conservative think tank in the United States who has people also such as Christina Hoff Sommers, you may know, is a feminist, does the Factual Feminist podcast, which a lot of people like, countering a lot of the mistakes and distortions of feminist research. So Murray was supposed to talk about coming apart. And this is a recent book. This is his recent book. It's published a few years ago now. And this book is about working class white people and what's been happening with them. And he was probably also going to talk about Trump in terms of why the working class abandoned the Democrats, or perhaps why the Democrats abandoned the working class, and why they elected Trump. So he was probably going to talk about that book, but also about Trump. And if you don't know Charles Murray, he has written quite a few books. The book that people don't like is that people were protesting this event is a book called The Bell Curve, which he wrote as the second author. The first author was actually Herrnstein, who I think has died now, but the second author was Charles Murray. And this was a book written in 1994, if you can believe that. This is more than 20 years old, approaching 25 years old. And it's a book on psychology, essentially. It's a book on IQ, and it looks at race and IQ, and that's what gets people annoyed. And that's what people are showing up to protest about. He's also written other books as well, like Human Accomplishment, which is fantastic. Human Accomplishment looks at 2,000 years ago of achievements in art, in science, in philosophy, in all kinds of things, and he has lists of the top 10 in each of these fields, like Aristotle's listed, like for example in biology you have Darwin, Aristotle, etc. So it essentially synthesizes a great deal of the best of in all kinds of fields. And he's also written a book on libertarianism and some other ones. One of them reformed the welfare state in the United States. I can't remember what it's called now, but it's just before he wrote Coming Apart. So he has been influential, there's no doubt. And I would argue that the prestige and notoriety of Charles Murray far transcends the entire Middlebury College. Where is that even? Who's ever heard of it before? Like this is ridiculous. And you'll see how disgraceful this event has served Middlebury College. So let me continue. So before Murray spoke, the president of the college was there and gave a short speech, and she only suggested that she first of all suggested the campus was left-wing, and I'm going to show that clip because that.
Thank you all, every single one of you, for being here. Thank you. Allow me to state the obvious. We are a left-leaning campus.
Because that, I don't even know why she could do that legally. That seems like a political endorsement, and for a president to openly suggest that the college is against Charles Murray, him being, well, essentially he's a libertarian, but I don't know if you can't really call him right-wing. Libertarians are essentially a mix of left and right-wing. But for her to come out and say that the campus is left-wing, not only is that oppositional, but it's also, that's not an education to suggest that our school is based on left-wing professors and a left-wing education. That's no education. So that's a big error. I don't know why she's the president of that college, especially to suggest that so openly. He also says that I'm not endorsing Murray's views, but we want to be a respectful audience and etc. Free speech and all that. And this didn't happen in the slightest. And I'll show some of that, although it's kind of noisy, so I'll just show a little bit of it, but it is pretty insane. So as soon as Murray walked on the podium,
well, I invite you today to express your opinions.
These are truths!
And invite you to welcome with me.
We won't.
This evening's speaker, Dr. Charles Murray. Hey, Charles.
This is going to be a real anticlimax. I have thought.
Join us. Stand up.
Who is the enemy?
White supremacy!
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 not 5 seconds later, a good 80% of the audience stands up, turns around, raises these signs that they show up with, and carries on parroting shouts akin to the ones of paid protesters outside Trump rallies. Racist, fascist, anti-gay, all that crap that you've heard a million times over the last year. It's the same nonsense. They don't have to make up any new words, right? It's just the same parroted, few words that have little that don't connote any argument or any thinking on their part. Have any of them read anything that Charles Murray has written? It's ridiculous, and it makes the college look awful. Who would send their kid to this college? It's insane. So. After 15 minutes of this, and Charles Murray stands up there. He just stands there. I don't know why he should have just walked out. I don't even know why he was there in the first place. I don't know why Charles Murray even went to this nobody college, Middlebury College. I've never heard of it. I don't know why he bothered, especially when you probably could have told the kind of college it would be. Like, I don't know. Does anyone know if Middlebury College is known to be a left-wing college like Brown University? I don't know. So I don't know why Murray was there in the first place. Maybe to support this club, this American Enterprise Institute club, because I've heard of the American Enterprise Institute, but I didn't know they had student clubs. So maybe that was why, to support the club. So after 15 minutes of him standing there, eventually a member of the administration, not the president, the president I guess was too cowardly to go up there again, another administrator, I think he was the assistant dean or vice dean of students, and he was up there and he said he was really disappointed in the students, and he thought they shouldn't be doing that. But anyways, they didn't care, and they just yelled back at him.
We believe that it is a deeply held value at this institution for people to be able to hear, listen to a variety of views, and for speakers to be able to visit our campus and to communicate their own views. We're prepared to move Mr. Murray, Professor Stanger, to another location on this campus.
And then after that, the professor who was supposed to do like a debate or a dialogue with him, I don't know if it was maybe after his speech, if it actually went on, this other professor came up and said the same kind of things, and said, someone shouted to her, like, he doesn't have any academic standards or something like that. And she says back, I have academic standards. Maybe I'll show the clip.
And Professor Stanger would like to say something as well.
Can you just listen for 1 minute? You sure? hard questions. We're going to have a great dialogue if you let us continue. I'm here and it is a dialogue. I have academic standards and I'm here. Yeah, I do. But, yeah, I think I have the answer. You're not going to let us speak. I think that's a terrible shame. Brothers and sisters, namaste.
And essentially she's saying, like, look, this is organized and we're academics and we're going to discuss this like civilized people, and essentially the protesters who are not civilized don't want that, right? And of course these are the anti-fascists, right? Well, that makes a lot of sense. So after that doesn't work, the dean of students says that they're going to leave and they're going to do the dialogue or the speech at a private location, and they're going to live stream it. So those who want to see the actual talk and the dialogue with this other professor, they can go on their phones or their computers and they can watch it. And we're going to live stream it in the lecture hall that the original speech is supposed to take place. So they leave, and all the protesters essentially stay, but some of them are outside too. And apparently there's a few pictures. There's tons of people waiting outside, and probably a considerable number of them actually wanted to see the debate. But somehow these other people that didn't really want to see the debate, essentially were just agitators and just disruptors. Somehow they took all their seats. And again, I don't know why that's allowed on university campuses. Can you do that at a regular lecture? Some professors holding a course. Can you just disrupt a lecture? Just have 10 people show up and stand up and screw his lecture? Or does security remove you? I think security removes you. So I don't know why they weren't removed. But there were a lot of people, and there was probably about 150 or 200 people that were standing up and doing that. So that would be hard for the police to remove them all. But anyways, so they're going to do the talk at this private location. And apparently when the live stream is going on, a lot of the protesters stayed inside the original lecture room while the live stream was being played on the screen for the people who actually wanted to watch it, because some of them were still there, and there's a few pictures of it. The protesters were still yelling and still talking over top of the live stream, just to screw the people that were still there. And there's a couple of pictures of old people there that wanted to hear the lecture from Murray, and they probably were wondering what the hell is going on with the world right now. What's going on with this college? Maybe they were alumni or something. It used to be students at the college, and now this is the intellectual scene, the student scene at Middlebury College. Again, all of this makes the college look really bad, and I imagine they're going to lose endowments and they're going to lose future students. So, anyways, so after the live stream, this story keeps getting worse, by the way. After the live stream, Murray and this other professor who had this talk in this private location, they're going to try to leave, and protesters found out where they were and surrounded the building. And they tried to leave out of a back door, and they got attacked by protesters. And the other professor, I guess this other professor was, I don't know, like Murray didn't get injured, but this other professor was getting attacked. I don't know why they would attack the other professor. And she apparently got her neck throttled and her hair pulled. And anyways, her and Murray got into the car finally. They were banging on the car. I don't know if video of this exists. I did a search and I didn't find any. They were banging on the car, and someone pushed a stop sign or some kind of street sign over in front of the car so they couldn't leave. And finally, what is only known as student safety officers, it doesn't say police, it doesn't say security, it just says student safety officers. What the heck is that? Right? Probably people have no authority and don't do anything. They, I guess, got this sign out of the way that was pushed over in front of the car, and then finally the car could leave. And again, this keeps getting worse. The professor that got attacked, she went to the hospital that night, and today she was seen, I don't know, I must be at campus or somewhere, she's wearing a neck brace. This is insane. What an event. What a disgrace for Middlebury College. And what a disgrace also for the people, or for all those students. And I'm making, again, like I said, I'm making this video because I have a lot of respect for Charles Murray, and while I don't know why he made the trip to go to this place, first of all, it's a nobody college, and second of all, he probably could have figured out that the college was essentially, a disease, perpetuating disease amongst its students' minds. Nevertheless, Charles Murray's reputation and prestige go far beyond anyone at this college, and for them to treat him like this, and for the president to suggest that this was a left-wing campus, and while this is a left-wing campus, and then she goes on, this is like in sentence 2 or 3 of her speech before Murray gets up there. I just think that this was awful and needed defending, and that's why, just like I've defended Jordan Peterson a long time ago, or not that long ago, maybe a month ago or two, when he started getting going, I'm also defending Charles Murray now, because this is just insane, and this is, I guess, a sign of the times.
Your audience, which will clap apparently anything, is frivolous.
No, I'm just saying.